you had communication with everyone involved in the sounds of it.
Yeah, Jameskii emailed me, Goldilocks emailed me, and there was like a big whole like, well, why'd you leak the DMs? Why did I do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's very clear that the ferocity and the speed at which he went to Twomad was governed more by his personal feelings than by the facts and evidence. Fresh and fit pregnancy allegations. I know you've got takes on this, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, I got takes. I got a vasectomy. Because of women like that, yo. Like, what the
So, let's address the elephant in the room first of all.
The DMs.
HenryResilient. People are always talking about your watermarks. Talk to us about the watermarks.
Oh, the reason, like, at first I really wasn't watermarking them, and then what would happen was people would just use my court documents, and then they wouldn't say where they got them from. Some people even said, according to the court documents I obtained. I'm like, bro, you didn't pay for them. You didn't do anything for them, but you know, you're telling people that you obtained the court documents. That is just that's what plagiarism.
Well, I mean, so someone would someone look at video, not want to credit you in any way, so they just screenshot the thing and then present it as their own work.
100%. And when I would call them out on it, I'm like, yo, can you at least like link me in it and, you know, say that you got them from me, and they'll just say no. And
are you willing to name names?
I'm not gonna name names, but one person we got into it pretty bad, and he so after we got into it, I was like, yo, you got to take the video down since you don't want to credit me. Take the video down. And then he got pissed, and then he tried to like backtrack, and now we are cool. We're cool. Me and him and I are cool, but we had to go through that rough patch of him like using my shit and not saying that he got it from me.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, the thing, because there's a cost to you to get the court documents, is that right?
Yeah, it's like the Twomad stuff cost me like $500 to get all that shit.
Jesus Christ!
Because,
I mean, yeah, if it was like $5, I might see it being a bit unreasonable. That's quite a lot of money for someone to just, you know, run roughshod over that, to not even link you, like the bare minimum, right?
Yeah, and the same with that.
But you're not asking for much, I don't think, you know.
No, I just wanted to link, and the same thing happened with like XQC and stuff. So, you know, that's the whole reason for the watermark. And now it's so easy to do. It's on all my stuff. So if people use it, which, hey, you want to use it, fine. You don't want to credit me, fine. But the watermark will still be there.
See, that's based actually, because I think there's maybe some other means you could have taken, but you didn't do that. You just kind of thought, well, I'm just going to solve the issue, get the credit, regardless of whether they want to or not. Yeah.
I mean, that's all I wanted was for people to acknowledge me. That's it.
Acknowledge me.
Based. Okay. So, Twomad, I feel like this has all kind of been well discussed, and I was going into the video thinking, what new stuff could it be? But you had communication with everyone involved, in the sounds of it.
Yeah, Jameskii emailed me, Goldilocks emailed me, and there was like a big whole like, well, why'd you leak the DMs? Why did I do that? One, he called me a clown in his 52-page manifesto. It's like the very last page.
Oh.
It's the very last page. So I'm like, oh, I'm a clown. But, you know, when I was covering Twomad, everything was all good. Everyone was like, oh, thank you for bringing awareness. But as the time shifted, then I became a clown. And then I called him out in the video. And it got a lot of positive reactions. And that's why I leaked the DMs. And then they filed the privacy complaint against my channel.
Right.
So
okay.
The DMs were just to show that, hey, this is retaliation for me switching up on them. To show that, hey, they were like, Goldilocks was like cool with me for like 6 months. So.
No, that's more justifiable, I think. What you're trying to point out is, hey, look, when I was being more favorable or being, you know, not necessarily against them, they were nice. And then when I started criticizing them, all of a sudden I'm a clown, and it's very disingenuous. Yeah.
Oh, 100% disingenuous. But, you know, I don't, you know, my videos don't gain traction. I got this small following, so I really don't think it hurt them per se. So it'd be like no blowback or anything. People are just gonna write Twomad off as being, you know, POS. So it is what it is. What can I do as a small creator when someone way bigger than me is lying? And I dropped 2 videos. I did a live stream. I've done everything, but there's a bigger content creator who is really gonna blow the top off this. So it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got quite similar channel sizes, and as much as your videos might get quite a lot of views, I get over like 1,000 viewers, say, like that is still at the lower end of the spectrum in terms of clout. And there's a lot of people that don't care about you to like go out on a limb to defend you or have you back or something like that, So it's kind of rough out there for us small creators, isn't it, mate?
It's very rough, but it's so funny because once a bigger creator co-signs this, then they're like, oh yeah, that video on Jameskii is nice because it points out A, B, C, and D. But right now it's like, oh, why are you defending a dead man? He was a POS. A lot of people have bought into the 52-page manifesto.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's interesting. So people have gone of thinking that Jameskii's correct.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh well, the Jameskii's document shows everything. It shows all the proof. I'm like, you didn't see not one other court case. He didn't give you a court case number. He didn't give you a police report number. He didn't give you anything. And just talking to people behind the scenes, the money shot spread of police reports, they did some research into it. That is 100% all Jameskii reporting his tweets. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
all online threats, and they're perceived threats. When you go to like the if you don't even have to watch the video at this point. When you go to like the court transcripts, his lawyer was like, these are not even direct threats. Twomad saying, hey, I want to kill someone. He didn't say he wanted to kill Jameskii. He didn't say he wanted to kill Goldilocks. He's playing actually Overwatch. So how you're not talking about someone in the game? But you can assume it's about them, but you can't necessarily prove it per se.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I went over that document and I was taken aback by how little was actually in there, right? And it felt like it was like, okay, so Twomad harassed people. Yeah, I already thought that, sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what else is there that's like, you're not proving he's a pedophile or attempted murderer, and the rapist thing. The only thing I think I saw that lended more weight to the idea of something bad happening there was I think that Goldie Bell had messaged a tutor or a college about having been sexually assaulted, right?
She mentioned it about being harassed. And she was being harassed. Yep, she was being harassed.
I thought it was more than that, but I'll take your word for it.
You're right. Last month I was S8. Sorry, she did say she was S8.
Dude, I was about to concede as well. Oh, unbelievable.
I got it up. I pulled it up. I'm like, all right.
Too much faith in you, mate. Too much faith. But thank you for checking. Thank you for checking.
Look, guys, I've been wrong twice on the internet. Destiny corrected me quickly, and the Green Ranger's wife corrected me quickly. So when I'm wrong, I have no issues admitting that I'm wrong. But I felt so bad with Twomad because I was covering it. I was so anti-Twomad. And then I started looking into it like, yeah, he may have been unhinged, but he wasn't a pedo. He wasn't there's no proof he was a rapist other than, her word versus his. I felt like he got railroaded. He got a bad deal on his way out of all places. So
yeah, sure. So it's because the thing is like, although I don't agree that's conclusive proof, it gives more weight to the idea that, she at least maybe felt that way. Possibly. Sure. I mean, she could be lying or something, maybe, to like make it up for like extra grace. But in any case, I think going over the details of that and that level is kind of unnecessary. I think we can at least say he's an harasser, possible sexual assaulter, but definitely not a pedophile in a conclusive way or an attempted murderer, right?
Yeah, the thing about the pedo stuff, like shout out to Misty. She probably watching. She did reach out to me too. I didn't leak those DMs. But I basically told her like if you get like a parent's consent or something, then we could talk. But outside of that, good luck in life and all that good stuff. So salute to Misty for actually speaking up and saying, hey, he was never a pedo, because most people I've come across, the people who are in Twomad circle, they want to speak up, but they want to be anonymous. They don't want, they're so scared of Jameskii, which is like, it baffles me a lot. I don't know what this guy Jameskii is, but a lot of people seem to be scared of him. Yeah,
I mean, he's comes across very badly, and it seems like he was operating a lot off of this previous beef that he had with
fucking 2019, bro. 2019, holding on a grudge for 5 years. 5 years, like, were they ever like in a romantic relationship or something? Because this is not normal for someone to be so consumed by I guess their hater or whatever. or a person they feel like wronged them and took advantage of them when they stayed at their house. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's very clear that the ferocity and the speed at which he went to Twomad was governed more by his personal feelings than by the facts and evidence. You know, like he probably heard third hand or saw something about this idea. He'd spoken to someone that was underage, which was a bit weird, certainly. But like he had like assumed the pedo thing because he hated him, right?
Yeah, he heard, all of his information is third hand. Like during like all the court documents, there's never like, oh, I had a conversation with Twomad and he told me this. It's he was on this interview and he said this. He tweeted this and this tweet means he wants to kill me. He wants to kill Goldilocks. It was all this perceived things by Jameskii, and also it was repeated by Goldilocks. I call her Goldilocks.
Okay. One other thing I wanted to ask about this, and then there's something else I want to ask you about.
Oh,
you probably can guess what it is. You're probably not going to know what it is. You're probably going to know what it is. But like this privacy complaint. So if I'm understanding correctly, you were reporting on it before.
Oh yeah.
No privacy complaint.
No
but
privacy
then
complaint.
But when you were more critical of them, then a privacy complaint came in, and that was it.
Yep. And like when you go to her DM, she's like, "You used my picture without my consent," and all this other stuff. I'm like, one. There are way more channels with her pictures on it because they were on Twitter. So the pictures were captured from Twitter. You go to the Daily Mail article, her pictures in there. The pictures were 100% from Twitter. Now I did say, hey, I'll remove your name from new stuff, and I did for the most part. But like I want to say like a couple of them slipped through because her name is like in a bunch of places. That's on me for that. But I think the privacy complaint was coming no matter what. No matter what. Me just happened to slip up and use the name and her picture in the thumbnail. I was just like, okay, this is petty because I reached out to other people who had used her face, used her name, all this other good stuff. They like, oh, we got nothing. And her name is a very popular person that shares her name. So it's not like she got like some very unique name where if you Google it, it's just going to take you to her address.
Right, I see. Okay, so it was seems like a kind of bad faith privacy complaint rather than genuine.
100% bad faith, and it doesn't get more bad faith than when the whole Jameskii was talking about the court doc, what happened in court, where he just completely omitted everything. He omitted the fact that, remember I told you that Twomad had he was editing firearms or whatever. Like, that video is just edited. That shit came up in court. And his lawyer, Jameskii's lawyer was like, hey, what about this picture of you shooting a gun on the balcony? And then Twomad was like, that is completely edited. And he was like, oh, that's a muzzle flare. I'm a YouTuber. I got witness to that. That happened a long time ago. But Jameskii made no mention of that in his 52-page manifesto. The fact that Twomad over and over stated that, hey, I don't own any firearms.
Okay. So I want to move on to the other thing, but is there anything else before we do that you want to say about the Twomad stuff? Anything else you want to get across?
If Jameskii is willing to lie about things that happen in court or lie by omission, you have to wonder, well, what else is he lying about to further bolster his case that Twomad was a bad person? And I wish the community as a whole would hold Jameskii accountable for the pedo stuff. If Twomad was a well-liked person and you make this pedo allegation with no proof, and in fact it just gets debunked, there will be a serious amount of backlash. But because Twomad was unhinged and people like perceive him as a bad person, pretty much no one cares what people say about Twomad outside of his core friends.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny because I had this kind of it wasn't really a debate; it was just a very brief disagreement. But I think Nicholas Diorio was saying that he's dead. What does it matter? But I was thinking, well, no. If someone's called a pedophile, like that's quite important that someone isn't labeled as a pedophile unfairly, because that's effectively going on your gravestone.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter to like his mom or his dad or his brother. Like it doesn't matter to them. I think people don't see Twomad as a human, like his family does. Like he was troubled. He went down this dark path of drug use, and now it's being exploited by Jameskii to piss on his grave in a sense. Yeah,
exactly. Like I think people would do anything to avoid getting like. It's so funny to me that online it gets used so broadly, but getting called like a pedophile is the worst thing you can be called, to the point where it is like got a lower standard to meet defamation in the US, even because it's such a serious thing to call someone.
And
so
I
people just think.
And I told him, like, yo, if his mom should sue Jameskii for defamation. It's completely unfounded. She should go after him. She should bankrupt his ass. He talked about financial troubles. She has a slam dunk case. She got a witness in Misty who's ready and willing to go on record to say anything and everything. Just on the pedophile claim alone, she can sue Jameskii on behalf of his estate, because that's going to go on his YouTube channel. Is legendary. I'm sure it's still going to generate money, 10 years from now. People still going to watch Twomad stuff. Yeah,
I mean, even if that wasn't the way, at the very least, getting a retraction so that Jameskii puts out, that'd be something, just to say that was wrong and I shouldn't have said that, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So listen, mate. Obviously, just so having to come on to talk about this, I've got to talk to you about this, though.
Oh,
okay.
Shit. What is this?
Fresh and fit pregnancy allegations. I know you've got takes on this, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, I got takes. I got a fucking vasectomy. Because of women like that, yo. Like, what the fuck? He's cooked, right? If that baby is his, he's cooked. Look, she's what, three weeks pregnant, and she's already talking about lawyers and fucking child support and the American legal system. This is a baby mama terrorist. If he ever had one. Like, look, all men fucking pay up front, or you pay on the back end. It's probably better just to pay up front.
Now listen, mate, I'm in a safe space now. Last time I got abused by my chat over this. Okay. But like, I do, and this is literally just circle jerking. I'm just going to say it plainly. So no complaining, chat. Okay. But like, it does seem crazy to me that outside of this situation, just broadly, the woman gets total say over whether or not an abortion happens because there's a fucking baby in their tummy for 9 months. Okay. But then a man has got no choice, even though they potentially got at least 18 years of paying for something that they maybe didn't even want a part of, and even possibly made that clear to the woman too,
Yeah. And that's just the fucking America for you. What do you guys expect? She can abort your baby without your permission, and should she choose to keep it, you're on the hook for child support when you literally cannot walk away from her when she's pregnant. It's literally up to her 100%, which is horrible. They need to change that. If they change that fucking law where men can say, hey, look, I know you're pregnant, but I'm not going to be on the hook financially for the baby if you have it, and that, women would stop having babies. There would literally be no way for women to trap men with babies. But she about to get 18 years of child support. Day one.
Okay. So we've done a bit of circle jerking there, and there's agreement there. But we probably do have some disagreements with the fresh and fit thing, because this woman could be a total fucking whore, bitch, baby trapper, whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy was going around fucking
He fucking
coming.
took her to see the mom. What the fuck? Yo.
Yeah, right? And then he's coming in all these bitches. What's he thinking? Like, do you not have any criticism for that behavior?
One, did he go to like a lab and they deem him infertile? Did they like, oh bro, you sorry mate, you can't have babies. All right, I can't have babies? All right, cool. Well, I'm about to just start raw dogging all these hoes. And if I get one pregnant, it is what it is. But that's not the case. And he did get someone pregnant. And it is a violation if it's true. Like, the first thing you need to do though is get he obviously needs to get a paternity test ASAP. But it's the crazy thing is the woman will control when it can happen. So she's doing all this fucking show, and it can literally not be his. And she can say, well, I'm not doing a paternity test until the baby comes out, and lead him on to think that he's about to be on the hook. And then in the end, be like, oh, it's not your baby. I mean, what was he thinking of? Is he infertile?
Well, with this, because there was an aspect of the conversation that seemed to suggest that, it was a surprise to him that a pregnancy had occurred, which would suggest that maybe he has the snip or something like that. I mean, it's funnier to think that he didn't realize that fucking a bunch of bitches and coming in them can make them pregnant. But yeah, I mean, you know, to be kind of like fair, yeah, it could be that there's something that made him think it wasn't possible, or something along those lines. So it did come as a bit of a shock, it seems.
Right.
You know?
He is. I think it's well documented that he is the weakest link on the Fresh and Fit podcast. I think we can all say that. And this is not the first time he's been caught lacking. Because I know they look, man, I don't know these guys. They don't know me. I'm so small on the chain. Yes, I consider myself very red pill, but I don't like preach it. And I tell men protect themselves. But didn't he get caught like with like a sugar baby back in the day as he was preaching men? Like, you don't need to pay him. You just present some game.
I think that was Myron that was caught on a sugar daddy website.
Okay.
Walter, I think if I remember correctly, he had one controversy where he put out a video talking about game or something, and he apparently was paying a woman to hang out with him or something like that.
Look, man.
Off the top of my head. So, you know, there's definitely, but there's definitely, he's kind of the calamitous person. He's like the guy stepping into rakes all the time, you know, and I think it was even alluded to by Myron, who said that he's helping Walter with some sort of speech impediment lesson or something like that.
Yo, all men pay all the time. Do not think just because you got her, well, in his case, what he thought he was having her for free in the fucking phone conversation. She can barely speak English, but she knows about fucking child support. That should tell you everything you need to know. like, come on. But
does she need child support? People keep telling me she's some wealthy
does
like
Kim
model.
Does Kim Kardashian need child support? But she collecting it, ain't she? Ain't she a billionaire collecting child support?
Okay, you got me there. Listen, you got me straight out there, mate. Okay, fair point.
Who's turning down? What woman is turning down free money? It's free money for doing something that you would normally do. She said, "I don't need child support. I travel," and I'm like, "Bitch, you mentioned child support in the hey, be ready to pay child support, children's support," as she said it.
I must say, Henry, I'm sensing a little bit of anti-Asian bias here. Is this the kind of black anti-Asian shit that I've heard about? Is that what's going on?
Here we go. No, I think he got himself what they call a Ling Ling, and Ling Ling is about to make him pay. But you know, I think black men do like Ling Lings, and look, guys, she is very attractive. Like you cannot doubt that. And she was like what Miss Asian for fucking 2023 and a fitness model. He got like the best of the best. And she pregnant, and she probably gonna take the kid back to China, and he put his ass on child support. So,
well, yeah, especially when you consider, like, you know, I mean, look at the guy, right? Like, he's not exactly a shining beacon of black attractiveness. Do you know what I mean? Like, looks a bit ugly. Like, no disrespect, you know. But yeah. He was punching above his weight. Let's put it that way.
Not really, because he has the money. The money is the equalizer.
Oh, okay. The money thing.
Money is the equalizer. So you can be like, well, you know, he's not the most attractive, but hey, who cares? He got money, though. He got money. Money is very attractive. That lifestyle that she's living, where she doesn't have to work, she doesn't have to kill her body to eat and be in shape. She doesn't have to fucking compete in pageants. Could you imagine her living carefree for 18 years off the sweat of him? But I do think she's going to have a problem when it comes to collecting child support, because he's not monetized on YouTube. He's a business owner. You can easily manipulate your income. He can say, oh, I don't own the business. Myron owns the business. I work for Myron. Here's my paycheck. I get $1,000 a week. Base my child support off that. So she might be cooked if it's probably not going to work out the way she thinks it is.
Okay. And I guess the other thing I wanted to ask you about is what I consider to be the kind of bizarre response video, in that they had this. Okay, I'll ask you plainly. What did you think? Did you watch the response video?
I did not watch the response video yet.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, I guess I'll put it to you like this then, just to put it simply. So they had this lawyer come on, who was like a family lawyer, and I'm trying to be neutral in explaining it, but this guy was like apparently his counsel and was saying, don't comment on the situation. Then obviously went to say a bunch of stuff about it, and was kind of like saying, well, you know, Walter, this is the thing. You're a big and popular guy. The fact these people are saying something about you says something about your success and things of that nature. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, so here's the thing, right? In this whole red pill community, which I wouldn't say my content is a part of, but I definitely consume a lot of material. When things happen to men they typically say, all right, guys, Fresh is one of us. We're not going to talk about that shit. But how can you not talk about this? A guy who preaches about how men, you need to protect yourself from these women and, doing all this other stuff, he basically is getting caught by not practicing what he's preaching. You can say that. So
yeah, that's what a lot of the audience were kind of calling him out for. It was saying, you talk about this all the time and you've got caught out. So yeah, no, I can see that for sure.
Like, imagine if I popped up, if lo and behold, I get outed for being married.
Right.
that would be yo, I thought you were telling people not to get married, and here you are married. That shit would be major. But that's the whole reason why people are talking about him, and some people are going out their way not to talk about him to maintain their friendship. Like if Chud got caught up in some controversy, I would talk about it. I would probably tread lightly about it. I wouldn't go fucking George Not Found and dream your ass. But I would definitely like, oh yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I reached out to Chud. He didn't say anything because he was scared I was going to out his DMs. But this is my take on it.
Yeah.
And if you came out and proved me wrong, I'd be like, well, he fucking proved me wrong. And, here's the evidence too. Here's what Chud had to say. I wouldn't just, take my side to the grave.
Yeah, I mean, we are all human. People seem to forget that. And, if you've got someone that's like a really good friend of yours or a connection or something, you don't want to just light it up for no reason. But like, I think there's a difference between, say, like if the Fresh Fit guys had come out and Myron didn't want to chew him out, that's fine. But it just seemed like he was kind of playing defense for the behavior when it's like very clearly even from a red pill perspective, it's a massive L on Walter's part.
This L may haunt him for the rest of his life. If that baby is his, she's tied to him. I kid you not.
Yeah, true.
Like my ex-wife just launched a false allegation against me and her father. Literally investigated by the police and everything. So like he may have to deal with that in hopes of getting to remove my daughter from my custody. So you have to deal with this shit. So good luck to him. Hopefully, like, it's not his baby. Maybe this is all a big thing for publicity. But the fact that he took her to the mother's house, he posted her online, it gives some credibility to her story that they were serious, if you will.
Yeah, and the only, I guess, final thing I was interested to see your thoughts on as a red pill representative in some ways. God. Okay.
I hate when people say that. I'm like, look, I guess I'm red pill, but I'm not like, I don't broadcast that shit. I'm like, hey, I'm red pill. Let's do red pill content.
I think the reason is because of that time. Well, there's multiple things you said that are brilliant, but it was that time you spoke about burying gold in the backyard.
Look at Crowder. You was covering what's happening to Crowder, right? What's his ex-wife doing? She's fucking teaming up with people trying to fucking bring him fucking down. If you looked at his point of view and not the other guys, who's like, I'm a victim in all this. But
well, listen, look. Here's the other thing I wanted to ask you about. Okay, red pill guy, man. Okay, no, so abortion. Okay, so this guy was pushing abortion on this woman. Okay. Mm-hmm. How do you think that fits into this and kind of how they present themselves?
Like, guys, I've had 3 abortions in my life, and I'm a father. And here's the thing with abortion: you have to he was too heavy-handed with it. But it sounds like she already communicated that, hey, if you get me pregnant, I'm keeping the baby. See, these guys go into these relationships like, well, she said she's gonna keep the baby. I don't believe her. When they say they're gonna keep the baby, they're gonna fucking keep the baby. So don't think that like, oh, I'm gonna change her mind or anything like that. Don't put that decision in her hands. That's what you don't do. So you pull out. I know. I'm sure he probably was like, I'm the pull out king. Well,
but wait, pulling out isn't 100% effective either.
Exactly.
Like, why not wear a condom at least? Or, you know.
Look, I'll tell you how this time this chick, she got me trapped up. She's like, I time my cycles. I just got off. I'm not ovulating. And I'm like, okay, cool. She like, just yam up in me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking yam up in you. Or whatever, but I was like this. Look how dumb I was. This is how dumb I was. I was like, you gonna top me off first to get that load out the way. And then the second load, I'm gonna yam up in you. Well, now that I'm older, I know the second load is more potent or whatever, because the first load is all the dead shit, and the second load is fucking the shit that's really gonna get the job done. And sure enough,
this is not medical advice, to be clear. This is not medical advice.
And sure enough, the fucking second time she gets pregnant, and she like, should I do? I'm like, well, what do you want to do? I didn't say anything or whatever, but this was like some very like prestigious chick, and I was in college. I knew she was like destined for great shit. She's like a dean or a president of a college somewhere now. So she got rid of the baby. I came back next year when I visited, and we hugged, and she was like, I got rid of it. I was like, oh yeah, I know you did or whatever. And it was cool, but she was great. But don't fuck with women who talking about they time and their ovulations and shit now. Like, that's a no.
Okay. I don't even know what to say, mate. I mean, I don't think it works like that. Let's put it that way, okay?
Okay, so all right, if you want to get a woman to get an abortion, what you have to do is be supportive of her decision. You can lay all the foundation and say, well, look, I remember I was 18. I'm like, I'm 18. I'm working at a fast food restaurant. I didn't even graduate high school. I never intended for you to get pregnant. And this chick, she legitimately trapped me. She was on birth control for like 6 months. So I'm yamming up in her. I'm 18, freshly 18 at this time, freshly 18. So she fucking took advantage of me. I'm freshly 18. Okay. I'm yamming up in her. And then next thing you know, she like, her period late. I'm like, well, why is it late? You on birth control? She like, oh, I stopped taking it a month ago, but I didn't want to tell you because I know you like coming in me. I was like, oh my fucking God. Oh my God. So she was, I want to say, she was 17. Maybe we were both 17 at the time. No, I was 17. She was older than me. She was 17. So we had to wait till her 18th birthday to go get the abortion. So she didn't have to tell her parents. So we cut school, went there. She got the abortion. We came back to my house and we chilled. And now she got like 2 kids. So she's good. She's good.
Okay, I just want to say something quickly, okay?
Damn, I had 4 abortions. Fuck. Oh, shit. I just realized it, like, shit. Holy shit.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Listen, okay. We don't need to go into all the details.
Sorry.
I just was asking generally. But the other thing I want to say as well, just quickly, is that, the woman's like, oh, I know you like doing it. Surprise. Most women like it the other way around as well.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
So this idea that it's just for the man's benefit is complete fucking baloney, as far as I'm concerned. Okay? Be safe, all parties considered, but let's not be dishonest about the situation. Okay? Now, the only other thing I wanted to get at with this is this abortion thing. Okay? I feel like red pill guys don't ever say, yeah, we're for abortions, and they kind of a little bit talking about it. Because they want to attract traditional people. They want trad Catholic types to watch their shit, so they don't talk about it.
Look, guys, I'm anti-marriage. I'm anti-trad bullshit. That shit's not going to work. Crowder tried to get a trad wife, and his trad wife is about to fucking destroy his life. You need to realize you have absolutely no input on abortion from a woman's perspective. You have no say. So if you can say, well, you're pro-life or pro-choice, it really doesn't matter because you're not getting pregnant. Now, if you want to, insert your wheels in laws and make sure they pass these anti-abortion laws, fine. Look, a woman is just going to fucking fly to California and get the job done, or some other place that's there. But do not try to use abortion as a form of birth control because you have no say in it. So that's my take. I know these red pill guys are like, we're all pro-life. Like, yeah. Y'all grifting. Let your side chick get pregnant. You're gonna be like, hey, let me get that plan B. You're gonna be like fucking fresh on the phone. Like, I don't want kids.
Like, I mean, yeah, like that's my take as well, right? Like, it's like the kind of politician that gets the mistress pregnant that pushes against abortion, and then it's like, you take them to the table, get an abortion now.
Yeah. Go get the abortion. Like, and it's very traumatic for women to go through, and not to mention like the health risks associated with it, because sometimes you can get an abortion and then you can never have kids again if it's done the wrong way. So.
Well, I mean, look, regardless of like whatever disagreements at the top end people might have, I think that fundamental point everyone would agree with. Yeah, don't use abortion as birth control, and that's it. That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah. Damn.
Okay. Well, listen, mate. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Okay. And,
thanks for having me, man.